Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Miles of Horror, the only channel that's going to make you scream. 6:32 a.m. over here in New York City, bright and early. Got my coffee. Hope you guys are doing well. Having a wonderful Saturday morning, or whenever it is you are watching this video. But I had to come on here because I watched a pretty awesome movie last night from the fine folks over at Shudder. It is a Shudder original 2022 film, none other than Influencer, which really caught me off guard, really caught me off my toes. I really enjoyed it. And if you know nothing about this movie, check this out.
Traveling is all about experiencing new things.
You're in one of the most beautiful places in the world. What could possibly be wrong with that?
My boyfriend and I planned this trip together. And at the last minute, he bailed.
You can come crash with me. I'll show you.
I couldn't put you
Hey,
up.
it's gonna be fine.
Change of plans. I made a new friend. Looks like I'll be staying here for a while longer. We're going to explore the country.
I just realized I haven't been in front of a fire in like a decade. You probably brought me all this way to kill me in the middle of the ocean. No one can hear you scream.
So, Influencer is the movie. We have this really awesome release from, Shudder Films, which is now an OCN partner label of Vinegar Syndrome. Now, let me just start off by saying I love the movie. I thought it was a ton of fun, really well done. And so the movie has a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. So look no further than that. Now, I know some of you guys are Rotten Tomatoes truthers, and sometimes that doesn't always tell the whole story. It was just a good time, guys. Influencer was a fun movie that does a lot of things really well. Again, it's a smart movie that kind of takes us into the age of social media perfectly. It really does a good job of portraying social media in a few different ways. But before I even get into the movie, so the movie is Influencer. Okay, you can see the aesthetic here, really cool kind of artwork on there, all the different like thumbnails for social media, whatever it could be. Then you have the back here with the main character, Madison was her name? Yeah, Madison. The main character in a sense. But so really cool artwork on there. It's kind of like an Instagram kind of post or grid. Then open it up. You have the actual, I guess, the original cover art there on the slip. Pretty standard Blu-ray box. A little thicker than normal, which is kind of cool. You have a booklet in there, pretty thick booklet. Reversible cover, which is kind of cool. But it's just like a still of the movie. I'll have to check that out, what exactly it is. But yeah, so there you have it. There's the disc and the box and the slip. Okay, so that's the aesthetic. Now, let me just go off for a minute about Shudder. Okay, now if you're a friend of mine or you've been following my channel, I've been a big champion of Shudder's releases. Okay, I did a review of several of these, so go back to my channel and check them out. And Influencer is no different. So Vinegar Syndrome has created partner labels with Shudder, and I have picked up almost everything they've put out because I've been such a big fan of Shudder's partnership with Vinegar Syndrome. It's been really cool. And so if you are not familiar with some of the Shudder releases over the last year or so, so Influencer was the first one. Influencer was the latest one, which was fantastic. You had Saloon, which I haven't watched yet. This just came last month. I have not watched Saloon yet, but I hear this has a banging Rotten Tomato score. You have, of course, The Sadness, which was like one of my favorite watches of last year. This thing goes for big money online now. But The Sadness was excellent. Wall to wall, top to bottom. Incredible movie, so much fun. You had Attachment, which I did a full-on review of this on my channel. Check it out. Really original, cool movie. Go check that out. And then Brooklyn 45, which I just watched a couple weeks ago, which was good. I enjoyed it. A little not really my style, but it's got the chick from Rob Zombie's Halloween '07, the tall friend. And I thought she was fantastic in it. So everything Shudder's doing is at least solid. Okay, there's nothing that's coming out from them that's like bad. So I'm intending to like lean towards picking up whatever they're putting out, even if it just looks okay to me, because they're doing a bang up job. So Influencer is the latest title from them. If you are a Vinegar Syndrome subscriber, you usually get these titles for like $7-8 off. So for me, it really pays off to get that subscription. Again, just from the Shudder titles alone last year, I probably saved about I don't know, $50 or so. So yeah, so Influencer, it is a 2022 film, and so the movie does a few things really well, guys. Okay, it's a fantastic kind of warning and alert, right, to not just the dangers of social media, right, from like identity theft and scammers and people trying to take advantage, but even more importantly, what this movie does is it delivers a powerful message of the dangers social media brings to personally, right? And to its users and the addiction of it and the mental aspect of social media. And so it really hits home on that idea that social media is a danger in several ways. And I really like that about this movie. And if you're watching this, you're probably an avid YouTuber and you're probably someone who has a social media page, not just on YouTube, but on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. And you get it. Like it really hits home. And I think they do a fantastic job of portraying what not just social media is, but what an influencer's life is like, or the kind of the fakeness of it and the pitfalls and the dangers that come not just from the outside world, but from yourself, from being addicted to it and being lonely from it, and the just the difficulties that come with being an avid social media user, because we glorify it, and I have a pretty substantial Instagram page that I use every day and I love, but it can be a lonely place sometimes, guys, and it can be a place that can make you feel empty at times, and I think that's what this movie does the best. Okay, that's what it does when it's at its peak. So um, the premise of the movie, you have this character Madison, who's the blonde in the in kind of the slip here, and she goes on vacation, she's supposed to meet her boyfriend, and her boyfriend actually ends up bailing on her, and she meets this girl CW who has the birthmark on her face, and that's kind of the premise of the movie. And I will say this, things are undoubtedly not as they appear in this movie. You have a lot of identity stuff going on. And one of the things that I really liked about this movie, and this is not a spoiler, but it gives a little bit of a structural bit of the movie. The first 25 minutes of this, okay, is a setup scene. So the whole beginning of the movie is just leading up to the title card, which is literally 25 minutes into the movie. So you don't get the title card for the first half hour of the movie, which is kind of like a unique little thing. And I think that all over the place, there's unique little touches about this movie that make it kind of fresh. It's kind of a slowish burn in the beginning, but there's like one scene that really kind of picks the movie up and really gets the gears going. And that kind of sets things in motion. But what I want to say is that the movie is very smart. It's very recent. If you have a social media page, I think you're gonna love this movie. Truly, there's good. It's not gory at all, but there's some good death scenes in it. There's some really cool suspense, and it's a really smart movie in the sense that like it'll set you up for like a scene. Like there will be like set up, and then like a flip flop on what you thought was gonna happen. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. And it really does that well of setting you up and kind of dropping you and setting you up and dropping you. I think even if you don't love the film, I think you can appreciate it and for what it does. The actors and actresses are fantastic. I think the main chick, Madison, this was in Riverdale, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely have some profile actors and actresses in here. So that is that. The other thing is, I I don't remember where I was going with that, but I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It's a really cool film. At the very least, you'll enjoy the social media aspects of it. But again, so it's not the goriest film, but there are a few death scenes that are super super cool. And super kind of like um brutal. Like to be honest with you, I think that's the word I'm looking for. Brutal. So you have a little bit of gore. You have a little bit of like. The other thing is this. This is like a big thing for me. The characters in this movie are smart. Okay, they are not dumb, and I think, to be honest with you, that's what separated this movie from a lot of other like movies that I've seen is that the characters are smart. Okay, they act in ways that you would think that they would act, and yet still things go awry. And kudos to the actors and actresses that are doing a good job of the setup. But they're smart, guys. The actors and actresses in the movie are smart and they act in smart ways. And I think I appreciated that. The movie doesn't insult your intelligence in any way possible. It really does a good job of that. So the movie's Influencer, I really enjoyed it. Truly, I had a great time with this movie. It's kind of a bare bones release. There's a little bit of a documentary behind it, which I watched most of and I enjoyed it. But it's more so kind of the directors kind of looking for like memorabilia and things that they can use on the shoot. It wasn't too much with the actors and actresses, but I really enjoyed it, guys. Definitely check it out. Influencer is the movie. If you have seen this, hit me up in the comments because I don't know if I've ever seen anyone that's seen this. I know it was pretty big title when it came out. It had a lot of praise, but I've never talked this movie with anyone. So hit me up. Let me know if you've seen it. The movie is Influencer, directed by Curtis David Harder. And that's what I got for you guys today. Have a wonderful Saturday. Back with more tomorrow. Have a great Royal Rumble tonight, those of you that are celebrating. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.